We always put America first. In response, our enemies unleashed an army of rabid left-wing lawyers, really corrupt Marxist prosecutors. These are dishonest people, bad people, deranged government agents and rogue intelligence officers to try and stop our movement. Remember the 51 intelligence officials that lied about the laptop? They said, oh, the laptop, Russia disinformation. No, they all lied. 51 of them lied. And it would have made a difference of about 11 points in the election, according to the pollsters. They lied. As an example, every one of these many fake charges filed against me by the corrupt Biden DOJ could have been filed 2.5 years ago.
Easily.
They didn't want to do it 2.5 years ago. They wanted to wait, and they did wait. They waited right to the middle of an election, and they waited until I became the dominant force in the polls, because we're dominating everybody, including Biden, in the polls. And then they filed them all, every one of them, all at essentially one time, including local DAs and AGs and even other cases right in the middle of the campaign, where we're leading by so much, and it's not going to make any impact, because every time they file an indictment, we go way up in the polls. We need one more indictment to close out this election. One more indictment, and this election is closed out. Nobody has even a chance. We've already defeated the Republicans. They're at 2 and 3 and 1. You know, they all want me to go, onto the debate stage.
So Trump is now talking about the case, and Jack Smith is not like that at all. Jack Smith filed almost an emergency motion. It's not technically an emergency motion, but Trump posted this on Truth Social. He said, if you go after me, I'm coming after you. Posted that August 4th, 2023 at 1:16 p.m. And it didn't take long for Jack Smith and the special counsel to file a motion for protective order to get Trump in line. Here is the docket. You can see this was filed on August 4th, the same day Trump posted that, a motion for protective order by the United States. And in this order, they actually include a screenshot of the document. And so here is what it looks like. This is the motion for protective order filed immediately by Jack Smith right after Trump posted that tweet. They say in 4 pages, United States of America versus Trump, says the government stands ready immediately upon the court's entry of a protective order to produce a substantial amount of discovery to Trump. He still hasn't gotten it yet. Discovery that defense counsel stated at the initial appearance yesterday that he needed in order to abide by the court's proposed trial date. Trump's lawyer said, I need this information before we can even tell you when we think we can have a trial. So the government says to allow the government to begin producing discovery, much of which is sensitive and confidential, we ask the court for a protective order. The court should enter it immediately so we can give them discovery. Here's the background. They say, all right, we, in our bogus fake indictment on August 1st, indicted Trump for 4 charges. On August 2nd, the government sent over a proposed protective order to counsel for the defendant, Trump. Trump's lawyers substantively responded today on August 4th with a different proposed protective order that did not, in our estimation, this is the prosecutor speaking, protect very sensitive materials from numerous categories, including grand jury materials, sealed materials, and search warrant affidavits. The same day, in an attempt to reach a compromise, the government drafted a new protective order. They don't want Trump to be able to talk about this stuff when he gets it, modeled on another one. In response, counsel for Trump asked the government, saying that they did not have adequate time to confer. So the government now, Jack Smith and his team, they say they seek to provide Trump with discovery. The attached order would allow us to do so and protect the info. We've got a lot of materials here that we want to protect. And the law says the court may, when they've got good cause, enter a protective order to expedite the flow of discovery. Here, good cause exists because the issuance of the government's order would expedite the flow of discovery. There's highly sensitive categories. Now, the government's proposed order is consistent with other orders and not overly restrictive. And we've already seen some of the things they've asked for in the classified documents case. They didn't even want Trump to look at the materials or take his notes from looking at the materials home with him. This is the J6 case, and so they're now trying to limit this case as well. It allows Trump prompt and effective use of the discovery materials, including showing discovery materials to witnesses who also agree to abide by the terms. All the proposed order seeks to prevent is the improper dissemination to the public. If this is such a public case of an insurrectionist, I don't know why we can't see everything in this one. This is not the classified documents case. Such a restriction is particularly important because the defendant, Trump, has previously issued public statements regarding witnesses, judges, attorneys, and other associated legal matters. Well, what does that have to do with the discovery? In recent days regarding this case, Trump has issued multiple posts and made multiple statements about Thug Jack Smith, either specifically or by implication, including the following, which he posted just hours ago. They got it 3 hours ago. So there are prosecutors just watching his feed, basically. Trump says, if you go after me, I'm coming after you, which is obviously true. And when he wins, he should use the DOJ in exactly the same fashion as they are, which of course is openly partisan against his political opponents. So this is the new standard in America now. So seems pretty obvious to me that that's obviously going to happen. And if Trump doesn't do it, the Republicans are going to do it. They say if Trump were to begin issuing public posts using details, for example, for the grand jury transcripts obtained in discovery here, it could have been harmful, chilling effect on witnesses or adversely impact the fair administration of justice in this case. See this particular case here. It says, finally and importantly, the government's proposed protective order provides that either party can seek to modify this at any time, meaning the defendant is in a better position if he receives discovery under these conditions rather than receiving no discovery at all, which is what they would prefer to do. They would just say, well, we have all the discovery that you have all the discovery that you need, which is none of it. If the court issues the government's protective order without awaiting a responsive brief, meaning they don't want Trump's people to respond, Trump will be free to review the discovery that we can just hand over. So judge, just enter this and we'll just give it to him like right now, and they'll be better off. They don't even know it, but they'll be better off. So just enter this order, and if they want to change the order later, then they can file a responsive brief. They can modify the conditions at any time. And once in possession of the government's detailed, organized discovery inventory, then they'll have a better position to assess and justify whether to seek modification of the order at all. That's very nice of Molly Gaston from the DOJ, saying they don't even know what they need. Okay, this protective order is going to be more helpful to them. They'll be able to get the discovery more quickly, and they can modify it later. And also, Judge, it's very detailed and organized because we're very good at what we do. Give me a break. So they don't like this statement at all. They don't like that at all. If you go after me, I'm coming after you. Well, I mean, that's the new arena that we're in. It's the new tit for tat. That's the game. And so that entered the record on August 4th, and the judge responded to that, says, it is hereby ordered that by 5 p.m. on August 2nd, Trump shall file a response to the government's motion for a protective order. If Trump disagrees with any portion of the protective order, his response shall include a revised proposal, signed by the judge, Judge Tanya Chutkan. The Trump campaign released this statement about the Truth Social post from a Trump spokesman, said the Truth post cited is the definition of political speech and was in response to the rhino, China-loving, dishonest special interest groups and super PACs, like the ones funded by the Koch brothers and the Club for No Growth, paid for by Donald Trump for president, August 5th, 2023. So just clarifying that for them. He's not talking about Jack Smith per se, if you believe that, but every time Trump posts something like this, they're going to hit the ceiling. They're going to lose their minds. And they're going to say that Trump is somebody who is now worthy of being incarcerated. His bond or bail status should be revoked, and he should be put back in prison. Other Democrats are saying the same thing. They're saying that Republicans who are even defending Trump, if you're even defending Trump, you're getting dangerously close, in my opinion, to criminal culpability. Can you believe that? They mean this, okay? This is happening. They've done this in Michigan. They're going to do this in Wisconsin. If you even associate and defend Trump, you're going to be in the crosshairs of the Democrats.
What do you have to say to your colleagues across the aisle who are clamoring to defend the indefensible charges against defendant Trump?
We'll defend it all day.
First of all, good morning.
Very defensible.
And your commentary about the speaker finding a spine is hilarious to me because, yeah, he is definitely spineless. Listen, the idea that the biggest scandal that I remember when Obama was in office was his tan suit, right? They were all up in arms about the tan suit.
Not really.
And now there's nothing to see with 3 separate indictments in multiple states on multiple levels is absolutely ridiculous. And no one is being prosecuted for their thoughts. They're being prosecuted, or he is being prosecuted for his actions, along with his co-conspirators in the various indictments that he has. We have seen Jack lay out in multiple pages of indictments as what has been described on y'all's network as a shouting indictment in this last indictment. He has clearly laid out the actions of not only Trump, but his co-conspirators. And honestly, anyone who was paying attention on January 6th we saw what his actions led to. And so, no, it's not as though
What were his actions, though? His
it
actions
is
were
absolutely
the
ridiculous
speaking.
that we have these actions that are playing out by my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. You know, they are really getting dangerously close, in my opinion, to criminal culpability in and of themselves as
Other
well. And so
co-conspirators.
if I were them, I would stop taking so many actions and continue to express your thoughts. But they are the ones that are weaponizing government when they are taking our committees and they are running these sham seemingly trials on behalf of Trump. We have said over and over and over that in a minute they are going to have to turn in FEC filings because of all of the contributions that they are giving to the Trump campaign.
The Republicans are weaponizing the government against the Democrats, and not Jack Smith, though. Those 3 different indictments she's talking about are not their side engaging in political prosecution. And if you're a Republican, you even think about defending Trump, or if you're a lawyer and you think about representing Trump, or maybe you're a donor, or you're on social media and you post to support Trump, maybe you'll be banned or suspended or debanked or charged with crimes and locked up. That's what they want. That's their new campaign because they've got nothing else to offer. And they're now filing motions in court every time Donald Trump posts a tweet. Illegal truth. And this is going to continue to get very squirrely. And we'll see what the judge says about it when she rules.